guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Styles. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. Yay, 2 years in Canada. You know that video that says no be gadus be this is gadus. I remember this relocation journey like it was yesterday, guys. Oh my god, like the tension that IRCC will put you to. Not even IRCC, I think IRCC was even fast. But you see this Ontario nomination, OINP, Jesus Christ. We were there for a while before we finally got the nomination. I don't want to even go back to all that story. If you want to really understand my process and how I was able to come to Canada, go back a couple of videos ago. Like, I think that should be my third relocation content. I also have a playlist for relocation and my stay in Canada. I haven't updated it with the new videos I have, but you can watch the playlist or you can just scroll down the video to actually watch my process. So now let's talk about us being here in Canada. So if you don't know, I am married. I am not a single bubble. I am married and I have a 4-year-old boy, which I adore so much. And we've been in Canada for 2 whole years. I have a video about my 1 year in Canada. I decided not to watch that video before I do this one because I have new subscribers and I don't want to be in a situation whereby I say, oh, because I've said this in this video, I don't want to say it in this video. It's 2 whole years. So I'm going to lump all our experiences together so you can have a clearer picture if you're just coming across my video for the first time. Yes. So we came into Canada in February of 2023. So for my son, he has started school in this Waterloo region. You have to be 4 years old before you can go into school. I know it's different in some provinces, but Ontario specifically, you have to be 4 years old before you can get into school. They have the public school system and they have the private school system. They also have the Catholic school system. So it depends on what your beliefs are. I am not a Catholic. However, because of this, their LTV, I would have loved my son to be in a Catholic school. But then I began to make my research and ask people, and they're like, oh, during their Pride month or Pride Day, even the Catholic schools, they observe the Pride Day. And I'm like, Kiwani, what is the difference? Still more to come in me talking about schooling system here in Canada, and I'm going to do subsequent videos about that. For my husband, God has been awesome. He got a promotion at work. He also finished his program because I enrolled in the program first because I wanted to just try out the OSAP thing and see how it worked, you know. So I enrolled in the program. And my husband also enrolled a couple of months after I did, and he's done. Like, before you close your eye and open one eye, like 1 year will pass you by. I think it's a 15-month program. Yeah, so he's just gonna do internship and that's it. For him, he's great. Like, I think he's the healthiest amongst all of us in the house. We just fell ill a couple of weeks ago. That's why I was not able to like post videos back to back in January. But we are stronger now. Like, myself and my son, we are good. So that's it for my husband. For myself, I did finish school. I studied business system analysis and project management. And it was a 15-month program as well. I had 3 months internship in between. And I got the OSAP grant too, same with my husband. And I finished the program, thank God. I finished with merit. I did my CBAB certification that I've been posting for a long time. To me, I'm on to my 4th job in Canada. See, I go where the grass is greener. So I'm on to my 4th job in Canada. I've been in people-facing roles for a long time. Even when I went, I left marketing and I started doing operations in the branch. I missed people in Nigeria. I missed people-facing roles. I always complained to them that we're just here doing, you know, computer-facing jobs. Like, I miss talking to people. I used to say, oh, I miss talking to people. You know, when I came in here and I did customer service, it was a different ball game. Like, it wasn't customer service with face-to-face. It was more like on the phone, but it was crazy. Like, I prefer face-to-face. At least you can see their reaction. You can give it to them as they're giving it to you, you know. But like on the phone, they're not seeing you. They're just hearing your accent. And once they know that you're not Caucasian, they begin to, you know, attack you, right? So But here, I'm not really doing, in my financial institution, I'm not really having that customer facing experience back to back. I supervise people who have that experience. But then again, sometimes there might be escalations I'll have to involve myself in. But yeah, I don't miss it anymore. In fact, I don't want it anymore. Any job I'm applying for next will not be customer facing. Will not be customer facing. But yeah, I also miss remote jobs. Like, I don't know. My husband has been saying that, be like, say I just like to go outside, because all my jobs, aside from the customer service one I did in house, all my jobs has been me going outside. Um, but I get to meet people with remote jobs. You don't really build a connection with your co-workers, but on like going to see them in person every single day, asking, oh, what do you have for lunch, seeing what they have for lunch and all that, asking how they are. Sometimes someone might be off because the child is sick, asking, oh, how is your child doing, and all of that. But anyways, we also did buy a car in our second year in Canada, myself and my husband. God has been faithful. That car hasn't given us any problems. I just discovered this morning that we need to top up the windshield water. I don't know what they call it. So yeah, I might do a video about that and show you guys how we do it, because I haven't done that before. So we have to Google it and YouTube it and see how they top up the water, even to even know where to even pour the water, so you don't pour it in the wrong valve, right? So we got our first car here in Canada. It's a 2014 Hyundai Santa Fe, and it's been a wonderful car. The weather has not been so great for us to be driving every day, but whenever we can, we do, and it's been amazing, to be honest. No complaints so far. There was one time that we saw the one engine sign, one engine light pop up, check engine light pop up, and I was like, what's going on? It was simply because when we bought the fuel, we didn't lock the gas cap very well. But the sign went away, and because when we saw the sign, they get to call the seller like, oh God, what's going on with the car? It's the dealership, so you'll be able to tell us how to navigate it. But it was basically because we didn't lock the engine, not the engine cap, the fuel cap, the gas cap very well. But once we did, it became fine. So no complaints so far. I was told that we have to top up your oil every 3 months. However, my dealership told me that since I don't drive it often, I can wait till it's accrues like 6,000 kilometers. But I don't know, man. I don't want anything to knock. So we might likely, we got the car, I think, is it in November or October? I can't remember again. So we might likely top up the oil or change the oil in the next month. I'll carry you guys along. Don't worry. Don't worry. So that's it for the car. In the first 6 months of us staying in Canada, we stayed in a basement, and we moved from that basement to a townhouse, and we've been in that townhouse since. It was a 1-year lease. We have stayed more than 1 year there, so anytime we want to go now, we can. And let me explain what a 1-year lease is. A 1-year lease is you pay your first and last month to the owner of the house, the landlord, landlady, whatsoever, and anytime you decide to go within that 1 year, you're going to forfeit the last month rent, right? Anytime you want to go, you're going to forfeit. You're not going to collect that last month's rent back. It's like the owner's security, the landlord's safety, so that he can actually start looking for someone to occupy the house. And they pay mortgage on the house now, so he just wants to have that security that even if you go and it takes him a while to get someone, at least his mortgage is still secured to be paid for that month. So we had a 1-year lease. We left. Sorry, we didn't leave. We are still in the house. It's a townhouse in Waterloo, and honestly, we've not had any problems with the house so far. We've been here, like, it's the proximity to the bus stop is great. Proximity to it doesn't have like Walmart very close to it, but yes, it's just one bus to Walmart if you want to go to Walmart. It has some stores like a halal store. We have Dollarama close to it, so you can pick some convenient, some things you can find in a convenience store. You have them around here too. So that's it for housing. For finances, I've seen a great improvement from last year to this year, because our jobs have improved, and salaries have increased. So we've been able to buff up what we had saved up last year, and what we have saved up in the first year compared to what we saved up in the second year. Our understanding of expenses has also tremendously changed. you know, when we came in, we are always going to the African store like back to back, back to back, back to back. But almost it's more like once a month now that we visit the African store. Like, and when we are buying the things, we buy the things that we feel like we don't, because African things in African stores are quite expensive. Like for example, I used to buy every time I used to buy Gino tomato paste in African store. Every time or Derica tomato paste in African store. But it's if you buy Unico, UNICO, it is very cheap. In You can even get it in Walmart or any of these stores. No frills. You can get Unico, UNICO, and it does the same job that your Gino or this thing does. Even with corned beef, we are used to buying, what's the name of that corned beef we used to buy in Nigeria, or that you buy in African store? I can't remember, but it has this red and white corned beef now. If I remember, I'll put the picture there. We have exactly the same taste of corned beef in Walmart. I can't remember the name, but there's corned beef in Walmart. So we used to buy the corned beef in African store before, but we have stopped. Zilch, nada. We don't buy that anymore. The only thing that we still buy in African store, like staples, first is our sardine, because I prefer the taste of our sardine to the sardine in Walmart, but I prefer the taste of our sardine. Then milk is one of the things that eat our money a lot. But we are trying to reduce the number of dairy foods that our son takes. So he eats, because before he used to eat cereal, Cerelac, Golden Moon, custard, Ogi, Quaker oats, cornflakes, all those things that has so much dairy. So we used to buy that milk a lot. So what we did was we ensure that even if he wants to have anything with dairy, it's just once a day. Like if he has Golden Moon in the morning, he can eat rice, beans, akara. He doesn't like to eat swallow. He's Canadian boy. He doesn't like to eat swallow, but he can eat varieties for the rest of the day. So at least we know that even if sometimes I even try not to give him, like during the weekends, I try not to give him anything that has dairy in it. Like in the morning, he can eat akara in the morning, he can eat rice, he can eat beans, he can eat all those ones, right? So because like I said, he used to have a lot of dairy products in his food, we used to go and buy that milk back to back. And pig milk, that big pig milk, is $70 something. Imagine spending close to 80,000 naira for milk alone. So milk used to be like the major thing that used to take all our money with the African store. Then Golden Moon, like I said, we are trying to limit the number of times he takes all this dairy thing, because of our son we even go to African store most times, so we don't buy as much Golden Moon that we used to buy. Then we actually started investing more in sea shipping than in African store. Last time I did over 40 something kg, but now we know better that we have to do more with sea cargo, especially things like Golden Moon, Indomie, and all of that. We did sea cargo for that, and it's going to be coming in a month, so stay tuned so that you can watch it. So guys, now like I said, expenses, now we reduce the things we buy in the African store, like fish. Before we used to buy fish, Titus mackerel, but now if you go to T&T, you will see better. That's like a Asian store. You will see mackerel and Titus there cheap compared to the ones you buy in Africa. I'm not saying don't patronize your African store people, though, but I'm saying just for you can go and buy. Like I said, I cannot do without the sardine in African store, but there are some things that you have to cut your coat according to your clothes now, right? So like I said, I don't buy fish in African store again. Then tomato and pepper, we've always been doing bulk buying, but we didn't used to guesstimate to know how long it's going to take. So most times I still end up buying tatashe or acharodo in the African store. But now at least I have a better idea of how many boxes I can buy when the season is out, that will last us over the winter. So in Canada now, I understand the seasons. If you don't know the seasons, I'm going to explain what the seasons are in Canada. Around this time is winter. So winter is usually like from November, close to October ending. November, December, January, February is usually like winter. Then after winter is where the whole leaves are dried out. There is snow. The snow is usually predominant in December to February, actually. There's usually, that's why when we're coming in February in 2023, my mom was like, hey God, she knows that is when the thick of the snow is. I'm like, we will survive, right? But funny enough, 2023 snow wasn't so much. But this year, it has been showing us shiggy. Like, we've had like minus 20 something in Waterloo Kitchener so far. That's when we have the winter. And after winter, we begin to have spring. Then spring is where the leaves begin to blossom, all the dried leaves. Like, I have a before and after of a tree that is close to our house, close to the bus stop. And when I sent to my mom was like, "What? Is it the same tree?" I'm like, "Yes, it's the same tree." So in winter, all the trees, they just dry up. Some even have like just sticks and all of that due to the harsh weather. In spring, they begin to come out. Then in summer, in spring, the flowers begin to come out. In spring, they begin to blossom. Like, you begin to see greenery everywhere. So our greenery is usually in summer. So the spring is usually like March till May. And the summer starts from like May till like June, July. So summer is actually very short. Imagine May, June, July, just like 3 months. So that's when all the activities happen. Then from July, August, to like October, that is when fall happens. So all the greeneries begin to fall. All the trees we have that are bright, that are green, begins to fall off. So that's why they call it fall. So we have fall, the trees begin to fall off in preparation for the next winter. So it usually happens around August, September, October. So beginning, sometimes in October ending, you start seeing frosts. That's preparing for winter. But sometimes in November, I think this one came faster. Last year's one came faster compared to 2023 October. So around October, we began to see snow already, Yeah. So what else will I say I've learned? I don't regret being in Canada, to be honest. I always encourage people to apply, but I tell them apply and look for the best route pathway for you. Come with money, get any qualifications you feel like that can help you. So I don't discourage people from coming to Canada. I have never been a fan of discouraging people from doing life, to be honest, because I feel like coming to Canada is doing life. Like, you're trying to explore something different from what you already know. So yeah. So with friendships, it had small. Like, I miss my friends. I miss my friends so much. People like I just walk into their house. It's not easy here when you even try to visit somebody, because here you cannot just barge into someone's house. You have to plan. One thing I miss so far is help. Like, everything just goes round between me and my husband. Like, it has to be either me or him. Like, there is no third person that we can call and say, "Come and help us do this." Unlike in Nigeria, where I had help. I even had helps at one point, or I had my mom, or I had friends that could help me do one or two. Oh man, I really, really miss like that help, that additional hand. But yeah, it makes you more responsible. Like, you cannot even say, "I cannot do this." You just have to do it, because if you don't do it, who else will, right? Makes you more responsible, makes your child more independent. You know how when we came here and my son started daycare, like, the daycare lady complained that my son was not very independent, because in Nigeria, my son came here when we were two. My son came here when he was two. You know how in Nigeria, where every small thing, mommy carry me, mommy carry me, like, anybody can carry my son. My nanny person, my mom they're always carrying him. But here, no nanny person will carry your child though. Your child should learn how to dress himself up, learn how to feed himself. I'm like, I'm 2 years old. So she did complain, and she taught him a little bit of the independence, right? She wasn't carrying him. Like, when we came here, I was always carrying my son, like, always, always. It's not as if he couldn't walk. He could, but like, he's my baby, right? She's like, "No, don't do that, because if you do that at home, he wants me to do that for him at the daycare." So the daycare lady she said, "No way." That sometimes he would stretch his hand. She would say, "No, sit down. What do you want? Like, go and get it." So there's more independence here for everybody, not just parents, even the kids too. What else? I would say then flu shots. I had a contrary opinion about flu shots. When I came in, I took flu shots in 2023, but last year I didn't take it and I fell ill. There was always this, when people that have been here longer tell you, there's no need for it. I don't even take it. My children doesn't take it, because even if you take it, you still fall sick. But I think it's better to take it, and I think it will help reduce the effect of the flu. Because I remember in 2023 when I took it, I felt ill, but I wasn't like sick. But in 2024, when I didn't take it, I felt sicker than I did in 2023. So 2025, I'm definitely going to take flu shots before the winter starts. I think it's good to take it. I don't think there's anything wrong in taking it, to be honest. I also had a health scare. I think uh, how do I even start to even say this? So when we came into Canada, like I said, we did a couple of checks, check here, do this x-ray, and I discovered that I had a cyst in my neck. Right? I had a growth in my neck. Now, when I heard cyst, I was like, I thought it was down there that people usually have cyst. How do you have cyst in your throat? But it wasn't even discovered until they ran like my thyroid, right? So we did like a thyroid test, and my thyroid levels were low, right? So doctor began to do further checks and all of that, and I did check, and I have like before I didn't even know this is where the thyroid is, like the thyroid gland. I had no idea. So I did check, and I have a growth in there. Have I ever known I had a growth in there? Maybe, maybe not. But I knew that most times when I take pictures, this used to be my best side. Like when I take pictures here, I used to feel like there's a swollen side here compared to here. And I think there was one time that I did feel something when I was small, but it has never been something I took serious. Like it has never been something that occurred to me that, oh, I had a growth in my jaw or my neck or something like that. So the doctor said, okay, you have to do a biopsy to check if if the growth in there is cancerous or not. It depends on you. He said you can ignore it, but he would strongly advise I go in to check. And I'm like, hey, I said, okay, now say they're going to just, I felt like they're just going to use like x-ray now, you place your neck somewhere and they will just check. He said, no, they're going to go in with needle and extract a sample they're going to go in, inject the growth, extract it like maybe 3 or 4 times to actually check if it's cancerous or not. I was like, needle in my neck. Hey, God. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do this one. I told my mom, I called my mom, I said, God, I beg. What if they took the needle and my neck paralyzed? Like, what's going to be the next thing for me? But I went on YouTube. YouTube is a very powerful tool. I went on YouTube, I watched videos of people who have gone in and done biopsies, and I didn't see any negative thing with that. So I said, okay, I scheduled a time and I went to St. Mary's. I got the biopsy done. I just told the lady, I don't want to see when you're choking the needle inside. So she took like this spatula and covered my eyes, but she will let me know when she's about to choke it because I have to be still. I don't have to shake. So they went in 3 times and extracted some samples from the neck. I don't know if you can see, but I doubt it. A lot of people don't even, when I tell them like, where is it? Which side of your neck? So usually like my jaw, not like my neck, like my jaw. So they went in and they extracted the sample 3 times. And to God be the glory, it's not cancerous, it's benign. And when the doctor called for like a follow-up, he said, oh, you don't have to do anything to remove it. You don't have to do any surgery to remove it if you don't want to. That the centimeter, the size of the growth is very, very much negligible. You can decide to leave it. But if you are having concerns, you can take it out. The only time I had a concern was when swallowing was kind of hard, and I think that's when I actually did go to the hospital. I was having a real pain there and swallowing was hard, but I think it was just the weather playing tricks on me. But anyways, guys, I'm good. We thank God. It's not cancerous, it's benign, and I'm trying to actually have a diet that would not have it grow more. They said things that can make it grow could be when you're taking like soda, and they said when you have something like that, you shouldn't take citric acid. But I know the year word, I like to drink orange. It is well. Something will definitely kill a man, but I'm not going anywhere yet. I'm still with you guys. So guys, that's my 2 years of being in Canada. It's been progressive so far. Been able to bond together more as a family because it's just the 3 of us here. And I think it has actually helped us too as a unit. So yeah. Also, cities I've been in Canada. I'm not a big traveler because I try to plan my vacation to fit in my son's schedule. Like days like PD days when he'll be at home, or like vacation days when we don't have alternative for daycare, or summer camp or anything. I just want to be home with my son. So I haven't been to a lot of cities here in Canada, but I've been to Brampton, I've been to Mississauga, I've been to Etobicoke, I've been to London, I've been to Cambridge. I think those are the only cities I've been to be honest. I haven't gone outside Ontario, if that's what you guys are thinking. I haven't gone outside Ontario. I haven't even been to Toronto. Like the only time we landed Toronto was when we came at the airport. So I know a lot of people have vacation plans. Like they go and rent a hotel or like a condo or to stay with their family. I love things like that, but I don't think we're at the headspace to have that done right now. I was chatting with a friend and she was like, Stella, you're supposed to have traveled, you have access to go to Mexico. Like as PR now, there's some countries I can actually go to. But I know that all those countries are not running away, right? They're going to be there for me. So when it gets to those time, when it gets to the right time, we'll do it. And I definitely would cover it and show you guys here on the channel. So thank you guys for tuning in with me. I hope you'll be able to learn a thing or two from this video. I'll see you in the next one. My name remains Stella. Have a nice day.